I don't know who put that up here. Well, all right. Good afternoon. Sorry, I'm kind of double booked here today. Mr. Stan, would you like to lead us in prayer? And
As soon as I finish eating my cookie. Okay, now I'm ready. Please join me. Great architect of the universe, we're so pleased to be here together, and thank you for all the blessings you give us. We ask your continued guidance for the board and staff and any assistance that residents need. We also ask you to be particular with any staff or residents that have illness or a death in the family and comfort them. We thank you for your blessings and watchful eye on our first responders and the military that make our lives so safe. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
okay. All right, I promise I'll do better at this one than the veterans one. I got thrown off with the program because they had me down as right worshipful brother. I didn't know how to do that. Someone had that wrong in the program. And then I went to introduce Dan as right worshipful brother, and then that's what threw me off. I was like, I know that's not true. I know for sure it's not true for me. All right. Let's see. What do we got going on? Well, the exit gate's fixed. We had to order a new board. We did have an accident with it, and we're not exactly sure how it shorted out the board, but it shorted out the board. So we have that all squared away. That's all up and running. That just got fixed, what, Wednesday? Yeah. So, but it's been working good. We're kind of through the growing pains now. If we find someone who gets confused, normally it's somebody new. Someone new to the campus, a visitor or something like that. But it's been working real good. We spent a lot of time working with the police and the fire. So when you pull up, you'll notice a blue light on the one on the right. That blue light's a little box called click to enter. So the fire, the police, all the EMS type people, your emergency responders and all that, carry those walkie-talkies. Well, have you ever used a walkie-talkie? You know the squelch button, the boop, boop, you can make a noise? They can put it on a certain channel, they can squelch it, and it'll open the gate. So we have that all up and running. Now they all have their own frequencies. We got that all programmed, but the gate will not slow anybody down, and hasn't slowed anybody down. Honestly, if you watch the cameras. Let's see, what else we got? Today's Veterans Day program was really, really nice. I want to say thanks to all the staff and volunteers who put that together. I thought that was a great program. And I'm trying to get a recording of that woman and her rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, because that's the second time she's been here live, and it's very powerful. She's got an amazing voice. I really, really enjoy her. So Sheila's going to work on that for me, because she's pretty sure she has one. Let's see, what else we got going on? So everyone knows who Crystal White is? All right. So Crystal's no longer with us. I say that, but she's here. She has moved on and taken a new position. She's now working at the base. But just like a true government job, she started Monday and had the rest of the week off. So she's here. Pretty much how that works. She called me and she's like, I'm at least working Friday, it's a holiday. I'm like, what holiday's Friday? Because I would have thought, because David thought the same thing, it was going to be observed on Monday. I didn't realize it was actually the government holiday was today. But yeah, so she worked Monday and she's been off pretty much all week. So she's been here a couple times helping us through. Her replacement is a gentleman named David Calhoun. He's coming to us Monday. He's coming to us with quite a bit of experience as a director of maintenance, life safety, and that at some different communities in the area. He has some military background, some military police background. And actually, he's got quite a bit of background that's going to be helpful here. So we're excited to get David on board on Monday. And Crystal will help us onboard them as she can over the next couple of months or whatnot, and we'll get going from there. So we're excited to get David here on Monday. Is that the only one? Yeah. All right. I had to think about my staff for a minute.
That's all I know.
That's all I know for now, too. It's a pretty big one. Crystal's she's got a very large job. I mean, you know, out of the totality of departments, she literally is the director of half of my department, so it's pretty nice. She took on quite a bit, and she did an amazing job. So it's a big loss for us, but you know, when we're doing interviews and you have somebody sit down and he's like, man, this last place I went into was a holy terror getting started, and I'm like, trust me, you don't have to worry about that. It's going to be the most organized organization you come into. And we showed them life safety books and things like that, and Crystal's phenomenal when it comes to organization. So he can walk in and pretty much pick up right where she stopped. Okay, let's see. The gate. I'm trying to think. I thought I had two things on my. Yeah, I know this was next. Oh, yes, that's what I want to talk about. So I've been getting a lot of questions about COVID boosters, flu vaccines, pneumonia vaccines. I've been working with the clinic. They sent me some information yesterday. So the clinic will not be doing COVID boosters because they're not getting allotted any COVID boosters from the pharmacies. So I kind of thought that was odd, but I'll be very honest with you. I can't get COVID boosters through my pharmacy either. So we have a pharmacy that we use for our licensed areas. They can't get it either. So I'm not real sure if we're ever going to be able to offer a booster clinic. Flu shots, they do have down at the clinic, and you can go down there and get your flu shot. I asked about the pneumonia vaccine, like the Pneumovax, or even like the Prevnar 13 and some different things like that. And that has to be something we decide as a campus. If we want to do, we have to do sign-up sheets because we have to buy it by the bottle, and the bottle has so many doses. And because that's not in their wheelhouse of things they do, they're not willing, because it's not cheap. They sent me the prices yesterday, and it floored me how much a bottle of this is. But we have to decide if we want to do those kinds of clinics. We have to sign up ahead of time, and then they'll purchase them, because it's a significant investment, and they don't have a terribly long shelf life. So if they're not going to be used, they don't want to buy them. So Diana, my DON's been out for 2 weeks. She comes back Monday, so I'll present her all the information I've been given, and we'll kind of work through there. I don't know why it's such an issue getting vaccines right now, but I do know that even outside of the flu vaccine, we've even had some issues getting like the Pneumovax and things like that in as well. So it sounds like there may be a little bit of a vaccination backlog. All right, did everybody receive this letter?
Yes.
Okay, Brenda's not here, she is here. Okay. All right, so Brenda Kennedy has decided to step down from the resident representative to the board. So we went through this process a few years ago when Bill Selson was stepping down. So we put out a letter that has the process for how we elect a new resident representative to the board. So basically, the letter kind of outlines, the importance of the position. The position is vital to the communication between SMC residents, SMC management, and the SMC board. The position helps further the collaboration, communication, and partnership between all of them. And the resident representative, being the resident representative to the board is reciprocal. You're also the representative of the board and management to the residents. So if that's something that you think you're interested in, between now and November 22nd, please contact Dave and request that your name get put on the ballot. So there's actually kind of like two steps to this. So we put all the names on the ballot, and if we get more than 3 names, then we have to do a resident election to narrow the number of nominees down to 3. And then those 3 nominees will write a letter of why they will make a good resident representative, and then those get presented to Stan and the SMC board, And at the January board meeting, from those 3 nominees, they will make an election of a new representative. So by now, on November 22nd, contact Dave if you want your name on the ballot. So once we get all those in, we will, if we get all the 3 in, then what's a good candidate? Yeah, then you have to write the letter by 12/1. If we have more than 3 candidates, then at Coffee Connection, December the 8th, we will narrow that down to 3. If we have 3 or less, we won't have that part. And then January board meeting, the board will decide between the candidates on who will become the next resident representative.
How long is that term?
So the term is not limited by years. So it's kind of limited by function. If there's an issue with the position or the person being able to hold the position, or whether the council and the residents don't feel the residents doing their job, that's really the only way. It's not a term limit according to the bylaws. All right. Oh, the qualifications are on the second page. So the qualifications are: the individual nominated for consideration as the resident representative to the board must be a Master Mason in good standing of some Masonic body recognized as Masonic by the Grand Lodge for at least 5 years prior to his nomination. An individual otherwise. Oh, that's not it. That's to become a board member. I apparently gave you guys the wrong page. That's the qualifications to become a board member. All right, we'll have to get that part out to you. That was my mistake. I gave you the qualifications for a board member. Basically, you just have to be a resident of the Springfield Masonic community. You have to be able to participate in going to the meetings. So as the resident rep, you have to go to all the council meetings. So not just the square meetings, but if we ever come up with another, see? Okay, Dave pointed out my mistake. I did it right the first time. That is the right qualifications. So you have to be a Master Mason for at least 5 years prior to the nomination, or an individual otherwise affiliated with the Masonic fraternity for a period of 5 years prior to the nomination. So Eastern Star, Prince Hall, anything like that. So that is a qualification. And then the duties of the resident representative or trustee shall attend all the meetings for the Board of Trustees, has the right to speak a motion before the board, and shall not have the right to make a motion nor vote in any motion. In other words, you're not a voting member of the board, you're just there as a resident rep. The resident representative shall attend all meetings in independent living and assisted living councils, and then go to the resident council for skilled nursing as well. The resident representative shall chair the monthly meeting for the council officers of the independent living council, and the resident representative shall be a member of the Resident Relations Committee. So there you go. That is the qualifications. I did have it. It just seemed odd, because I can't believe they had to be a Mason, but it's with other affiliations as well. All right. Okay. Well, Dave, what do you got? Yeah.
I'm in a hurry, aren't you?
Okay.
I've got a couple things coming up. We've got the Reds Hall of Fame and mascot that's going to be here. I believe that's next Wednesday. I think the 15th is next Wednesday. They'll be here at 1 p.m. in the auditorium. So the Reds Hall of Fame will be here. We are doing a bus trip to Cincinnati to the Reds Hall of Fame Museum. That's on the 17th. The sign-up sheet's out there. There's still 2 open spots if anybody wants to go. Bus is going to leave here at 8:30 in the morning. We're going to tour the museum at 10:30. We're going to go across the street to the Holy Grail restaurant and bar and have lunch. And then you're going to have a tour of the Great American Ballpark. That should be over by 2:30. Bus should be headed back here at 2:30. So should be back by 5. Following that, the Saturday of Thanksgiving, we have our OSU Michigan game. That's at 11:30. It's going to be a chili cook-off. We are asking for volunteers to make chilies to enter the contest. There is a sign-up sheet out there. I believe there's 8 or 9 on there right now. And if you want to be a judge, contact me. Okay? I've got a couple names so far, but we can always use more judges. Then after that, I was asked to bring this up because I didn't see any advertising for this, but we have the New Carlisle Christmas Party. Has anybody been on that? I know some of you have. Okay, the New Carlisle Lodge, they put on a Christmas dinner party for us. And we take a couple buses to New Carlisle, and that's going to be on Monday, December 4th. The sign-up sheet is out on the sign-up table out here. So sign up. Yeah. There's about, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 names on it right now. So, but sign up if you want to go. Also, I'm looking for a volunteer for a meal delivery for the square. So if anybody wants to help your fellow neighbor and bring meals to them when in their time of need, please let me know. Please get with me after this meeting. Other than that, that's all I have.
As quick as I could. I get it. Yep, and before I get to Sandy, I do want to, I was asked to bring something up. It's not my favorite topic, but so of all the things that we do at SMC, and we do so many things right. I want to make that clear. We do so many things right. A, we're the only 5-star facility in Springfield. You know that, right? Within 25 miles of here, there are 46 nursing homes. We're the only 5-star facility. We kind of know what we're doing a little bit. But that doesn't mean we don't have things that we need to work on. There is one area that I can't go anywhere and not have something brought up about it, and that's food. Doesn't matter if it's the community center, doesn't matter if it's York Wright, Iredell, Rickley, Pathways, food is always an issue. I've been in this industry for over 22 years, and that has been the same everywhere I've ever worked. But one of the things that we're coming across right now is it's really hard to hire staff, too. And getting people to come work for wages we can afford is even tougher. Especially in places like the dining department. So, not a lot of love in the dining department because everything we get is, you know, I mean, I'll just share it. We do a thing called Pinnacle, and Dave gets them, we see them. The Pinnacle reports are, we send out these surveys, people call you, we get data back. We do that in healthcare, we do that in assisted living, and we do that in independent living. And I'll tell you right now, for the most part, as a campus, we're almost always above the 98th percentile. And that's fantastic. The most common area that always shows need is dining. We put a lot of effort into dining. We put a lot of effort into trying to hire people, train them, and it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of time. But over the past few months, we've seemed to really have a lot of incidents in this dining room particularly where the staff haven't been treated really well. There was an incident, and I don't know details about it, but Nathan came to me and asked me to just, at Coffee Connection, can you please just ask, be patient. We have a lot of new people, they're all young. It's a new generation we're all trying to figure out. I got 2 of them myself. It's difficult, and I'm with them a lot. So we're trying to get service where we want it. Do we know that we can improve in service? Absolutely. We are definitely not blind to that. Do we know how to get there? Yes. It's just going to take some time. and it's going to take some training. And one of the things that doesn't help is constant turnover. And that's what really makes it hard, because we start from ground one every time we have turnover. So I was just asked to just please say, I understand sometimes meal delivery is not going to be perfect. I understand sometimes one person may get served quicker than another. I understand sometimes some of the food's just going to come out cold, some of the food's going to come out wrong. I get it. I'd be upset too. Food is, I'm not an eat to live kind of person. I'm a live to eat kind of person. If you've ever seen me eat or my backpack, that's what I do. I love to eat, right? And I understand, getting frustrated when something's not right or something doesn't come out. 90% of the time, it's not the person sitting at your table that had the issue. It's in the back. And I understand getting frustrated with the whole operation, but please don't take it out on the staff on the floor. Call Tasha aside, call Nate aside, Tiffany, anybody. But it's just asking that we be respectful of the staff. And I hope that the staff is respectful to you. If the staff member is not respectful to you, that's a different story. We would definitely address that. That's actually something that we take pretty seriously. But I was just asked to please pass along, just please be kind and courteous to the servers, and go from there.
2 of the servers are leaving for more pay.
Yes.
Isn't there something that we can do to increase their pay to keep them?
So the way the pay scales run.
You need a microphone so we can hear what she asked.
She asked, she said 2 servers are leaving for pay.
Oh.
Now, so she asked, is there something we can do about pay to keep them? So the way that the kind of pay scales run, if I increase the pay to a server, it encroaches on the difference between being a server and, say, being an RA, with 2 vastly different jobs. So anytime we make adjustments in a pay scale, because of pay grade, it abuts against everything above it, if you think of it that way. It's kind of like, being at the bottom of a ball pit, pushing up on this, everything above it kind of gets bumped and crowded. So it's not easy to make those adjustments when all of our positions are lined and graded and have a certain pay scale associated. So if we move one, it encroaches on the integrity of the whole system, and then we have to move all of them, and that's not something that we can easily do. In certain positions, and it's really tough because our dining room's only open, 7 to 6, so it's 11 hours a day. And we really don't need people 11 hours a day. When we look at meal counts, time of them, you kind of need those people to come in and 3 o'clock and then leave at 7, and that 4-hour shift sometimes is more of a deterrent than anything. So it's really hard to kind of increase that and not have a ripple effect up the chain, but then also they're part-time positions for the most part, and so that kind of all that comes into play. But it's a long story to pretty much say it's not that we haven't looked at it, it really abuts against everything else, and then we start pushing against what is an acceptable wage to do. All right, well,
Tony?
Yes.
Why can't we tip? We have some really good servers in the dining room.
I'd have to fire them.
I know, but why? Why can't?
Because we have a non-gratuity agreement. So when you're employed here, we're not allowed to accept gratuities. And that's very standard in this industry. A lot of it has to do with the Medicare rules, but it's very standard that we don't have no gratuities. We're not allowed to accept gratuities. So like I'll have people call a lot and want to do something for a nurse on the floor. She was great. Well, you want to give her a card? That's great. You want to give her a gift card? That's a problem. You want to send pizza to the floor? Perfect. If it's something that you do for a group of people, that's one thing. But as individuals, we're not allowed to accept gratuities, especially monetary.
I always feel bad because we can't tip them because they work so hard.
And this is something that we've talked about as a company, so I'll digress just a shade. I spent 10 years with a different company before coming here. Very similar company, owned CCRCs like us, not-for-profit, and we had a tipping system. But you didn't tip per meal or per day. every year, the resident council would go around and solicit gifts for the staff from residents. And then they would put that all in a big pot, and then they would ask my HR team for a list of employees and their tenure. And then they had a system that you got so many shares for every years up to so many years. Like once, I think once you get 10 years, you were just like, you were fully vested. And then however much money they got, divided by however many shares it was, is how much each share was worth that year. So some years they may raise $25,000, and one year we had a really good year and they raised like $30,000. And so it depends on how many people work there, and that each share was worth a certain amount. And then every year at Christmas, the resident council cut a check to each individual employee, but because it was fair and equal and equitable, it was allowed. Because every employee got something based on a logical assimilation of how it could be dispersed. So that's the only way it was allowed. But that was all done by residents. We weren't allowed to be a part of it at all. It had to be done by the residents. So that is something that we've talked about as a company. It just gets really gray because it has to be very formalized, it has to be very fair, equitable, and equal in order to make something like that happen. We can't eat cookies. All right, well, I'm going to turn it over to Dave.
Yeah, I'm going to embarrass a couple people. So I got a couple new ones. Is that Pat? Is that you in the very back? Pat Smith, you back here?
Sally.
I know Sally's there. So who's behind Sally?
Wanda?
Oh, Wanda, stand up. I couldn't see you from here. Wanda lives down in 23D, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Wanda just moved in just recently. Say hi to Wanda. Sally, you're next. Stand up. Sally just moved in yesterday. Okay, this is Sally Snell. All right.
All right, well, welcome to both of you. Okay, Sandy is requested to speak, and unfortunately I have to step away because I got a meeting over here. So you get to talk for as long as you want. Just made your day. Christmas came early.
All right, I am going to make this short. Thank you. These I've talked about this before. People have had, well, I'm trying, have had these put in their mailboxes. There are posters out. It is on K4. It is on 1851. I've been hearing, oh, gee, I didn't know about that. Well, you didn't know about it because, one, you either didn't watch 1851 or K4, or you didn't look in the elevators, because I didn't put this in until last week, because it's not until next week. Had I put it in December, it would have gone into this eye, out this eye, and in the trash. October. That too. Had I done it any earlier, it would not have mattered. So it matters now. However, I will admit that there's nothing, and I did not make these, there's nothing on this about Breakfast with Santa. Breakfast with Santa is on Saturday morning in this room from 8 to 10. And afterwards, if someone's done by 9, they can go early into the Festival of Wreaths. I'm going to have it put on 1851 and K4. However, I am going to try to get some signs put in elevators. However, it is being announced in newspapers around the area. So other outside individuals, aside from in here, will know about it. The charge is $5 per child. Adults do not get breakfast. It's for the kids.
You can't sit on Santa's lap either.
No, we can't. I don't know. He might want us to, but I don't know. That's a whole different ballgame.
What age are kids? What do you call kids?
Kids are kids, I don't know. I'm not bringing them, I'm not in charge of that. If this kid is 18 and he wants to come see Santa and sit on his lap, who am I, you know? There is a Friday night event, it's a cocktail party. There are some people that will get personal invitations. I don't send those out. I don't make that decision. But it is $45 per person. However, residents can come for $15 per person. I think, oh, yes.
It's 25.
Okay, 25. I was trying to make more money.
It almost worked.
I know, but there's always one in the crowd. 25 per person, 15 per residence. My suggestion, oh, and I've also heard from staff, we didn't know about this. Yeah, that's right, because I didn't put anything out till last week. So now they've heard. If someone doesn't know about it, please tell them. Please tell them about Santa. And next time I will try to cover every inch on every piece of paper that has to be sent out. What?
Okay, Friday, it's Friday before you start your Saturday, right? Saturday and Sunday is the
Saturday and Sunday are the main days that outside people will come. Friday evening at 6 o'clock. I believe it's 6 to 10. Friday evening is a cocktail party.
where?
Okay,
No, because anybody can pay 25 or 15 and come. In the clubhouse. Everything is in the clubhouse except for Breakfast with Santa, which is in here. All right. And others have been asking, well, what is there going to be? Well, trust me, there will be wreaths to silent auction. We were in here yesterday from, well, this part of we was in here yesterday from 9 to 5. I felt like I was working. We decorated wreaths all day long. We probably decorated at least 20 to 25 wreaths. We have other wreaths coming from outside sponsorships. So there will be wreaths everywhere to bid on. There will be a bake sale, and some of the residents have offered to make goodies for our bake sale. There will be crafts from
Here to there.
here to there. Come and have fun. Start your Christmas shopping. That's all I know. That's the, what did I say? Sweet shop? Crafts?
Baked goods, she said,
I said
baked,
Yeah, I thought so.
Are you making
Sweet.
strawberry?
Somebody had a question about baked goods. Anybody can donate?
Anybody can donate, as long as they are packaged and ready to sell. They have to be individually wrapped and ready to sell. I will not have time. If somebody wants to price their own, they can do that. It would be,
Money goes to.
money, all of the profit goes to the foundation for betterment of our lives here. And I think, I'm hopeful, I'm just ready for Friday.
When are the baked goods needed?
The baked goods need to be here no later than, we can't get into the clubhouse till Thursday after 4. So either Thursday after 4 or Friday morning, because we're going to be setting up all day on Friday. So either time they can be delivered. So, yes.
And I must have missed it. What are the dates?
17th, 18th, 19th.
They are 18 and 19 is the main event.
All right.
17th is the cocktail party.
Thank you.
Okay, and it should be on 1851 K4 in the elevators. Lots of places. Any questions? Let me know. And I can
Where to
answer.
find you.
That's right. Yes.
Who came up with this idea?
Bite your tongue.
Well, it's from an organization called SPRIG. SPRIG means Special People Reinvesting in Good. SPRIG is a takeoff, if you've ever heard of Twigs, that a group that got together and said, we need to make money for Children's Hospital. There are 6 separate SPRIG groups. Each of our campuses, except this one, has one. I said, wait a minute, we're the oldest, we're the largest, and we don't have one. Well, that was the wrong thing to say. But anyway, we now have one. And Bob Hanrahan is a fundraising professional. I can't think of the word. And so he was hired by the Ohio Masonic community to do fundraising. And he has in turn hired Dan Shirk to help him. And then we have a small committee of a chairman, a co-chairman, a secretary, and a treasurer. And our purpose is to do events throughout the year. And we only learned this in September, and we've put this together in 2 months. If I make $100, that's more than I had last year. And so the whole purpose is to invest in something fun for all the residents to get involved with, not just 1 or 2. We're reaching out to outside communities to get funds and as a fundraiser. And it's all put back into the company. It's put back to provide for people that can't pay their own rents, or if they need something in healthcare, wherever they need it on campus, that is where it goes. Does not pay salaries, it's not frivolous spent. It's for our living purposes. Okay. Any more? Yes. It doesn't matter. They'll be priced, and that's all we have to worry about. Doesn't matter. I don't know.
That's the question.
I'm sorry?
What's the question?
Oh, the question is who is going to price the baked goods? It's irrelevant how things are going to get priced. I'm buying a new t-shirt. I don't know. It will get done, and by Friday, it'll be ready. So.
To dress up on Friday.
They're asking that we, as personnel, so to speak, come in dress casual attire.
Oh, good gracious, is this black tie?
No, we're not black tie. I don't own a black tie. Yeah, I don't own one. So, any more questions? And if anybody has a question, please let me know.
Don't call.
Yeah, don't call me, call Dave.
So Sandy doesn't know.
I don't know. And I don't care.
All right, hey Stan, anything from the board?
Yeah, make a comment. Hey, yeah, I just want to echo Tony's comments about the resident rep. And it is such a very important position for the board. And I'll tell you from the horse's mouth, and I highlight mouth, we value the reports from the resident rep greatly and listen to them. Between the rep and our resident relation committee, we make every effort we can to know what's going on and what's good, what's bad, whatever. So I just wanted to highlight Tony's comments that that is a very significant position and very important to the board. The second thing I wanted to make a comment on, I do a lot of traveling in my life, and if I'm in a community for a couple days, I normally will seek out a senior facility and pop in, and the CEOs are always good to talk to a board member from another facility, especially when it's out of town. But I tell you, without fail, 2 things always come up in my discussions. First problem for CEOs is staff. getting staff. Second problem is always the dining room. Those two items are the hot buttons for every facility that I've ever been to visit. And so it does take the CEO a fair amount of time to handle that. Other than that, I think that's all.
Send us on our way.
Sure, you'll join me for the benediction. Great architect of the universe, we are back to speak to you again, and thank you for all you've given us. We ask for your continued guidance and direction, and thank you for all the blessings you have provided. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hi, Joe. Good to see you. Movie man. I know my